So we're back at it again today. I'm on the same property that I was on yesterday, and hopefully you just saw that video. I found some buttons and stuff. Camped in the woods last night, had a good time. Lots of coyotes around here, and a few of those little whiny mosquitoes too. So this is where I detected yesterday. Found an old home site right here with a bunch of buttons. Now we're gonna go out across the fields, explore the rest of the property. We got the okay for, you know, detecting and stuff out where the crops are. As long as we don't drive out there, we're fine. So lots of good things, hopefully, that we're going to find and see and learn today if we ever get started. 2 cups of coffee this morning. I'm ready to roll. So I figured I'd start my search where the house stood, right here behind me. But I don't think there was an old house here. In fact, this one shows up on the aerial views from about 20 years ago, and there's zero sign of old bricks or pottery there. Now I'm in the field and I'm still getting signals. I just found this thingy, which I find very curious. I have no idea what it is. Looks almost like it's been melted. It's brass. I have no idea. It's got a little nibble thing in the middle there. Nibble. Let's just call it a nibble. And I'm going to clean that out and look at it. But even the bricks I'm seeing are not very old. Here's one here. Yeah, it's not an old brick. So I don't know if this is all part of the house that's behind me that burned, actually. It's all round nails. So I'll look around here a little bit more, and then we're going to head out across the field. We have this whole field to search, and some more in the back there, and all the way in the back where the swamp is. There's supposed to be some stuff going on back there too, so we're going to go back there and look. But here's some more pottery. It just doesn't look old. That's definitely not, it's definitely not old. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I suspect it's not as old as we think. Because see, these bricks aren't old. I'm still by what I think is a newer house, and just dug this, which looks like it almost should be familiar. Obviously that screwed onto something. But I have no idea. Looks like it topped like a fence post, one of those metal fence posts, but I don't believe that's what it is. Very fine threads, not very old. So I'm over in the very, very corner of, well, one of the very corners of the property, because I saw this big tree, so I wanted to come over and just scope it out. Saw somebody scoot by over there on a little like gator thingy on the neighboring property, but he didn't stop yet. Hopefully he will, so I get to meet him. But I just found something interesting I thought I'd show you. Not a lot of iron here, so I don't think it's a house site yet. I mean, it could be on, that's the neighbor's back behind me right there. So we can't really go over there. Well, I don't even know if it's the neighbors. I don't think they actually live here, because I looked it up on the tax maps. But we got this field right here. So this little piece of brass I think is pretty interesting. I'm not exactly sure what it is other than some type of little buckle, but it looks like pretty old construction to me. You know, cast. So pretty excited about this one, and hopefully soon we will have the treasure that we seek. Actually, we already have it, because I'm outside and I'm doing a video and it's beautiful weather, which doesn't really matter, but we're outside. That's the treasure. We're outside. I'm digging a lot of shotgun shells, natch early, but I think we have a button right here. Can you see it? I've not picked it up yet. Ah, it's not a button. It's not a button, but it's equally as cool. Some type of little brass. I should know what this is. It's some type of pull, but I think that's going to date back pre-Civil War for sure. So we might be on another little colonial home site here. That's some type of pull, I guess. It's got iron right there. So yeah, that's awesome. Unfortunately, we're right in the corner. The tree there and the high ground behind it. So I might go talk to the neighbor before we're done. And although I have permission, I haven't met him yet on the next farm over, but not this field. I think this field is separate, so we may check on that if the gigantic home site with all the gold coins isn't right behind us. And this particular signal just goes to show you to be careful wherever you are. You saw me digging in the sand in other videos here with my fingers, and I might rethink that, because that's aluminum and this is very sharp glass. So yeah, I'm going to rethink that digging with my fingers until we can actually see the object. Just kick this out of the dirt or the sand. So yeah, one piece of pottery. It could be an oldie. Exciting. This is good. This is very, very good. Now this is a strange find. Is a big chunk of iron, mostly flat there. It looks like a very crude rail. For like maybe some railroad or rail cars or some sort ore carts, or I don't know. I really don't know on this one. Probably not though, because look how it's there. I don't know what that is. It looks old though. I'm gonna have to put this one up against a tree, so I'm not going to carry that thing all day considering we just got started. That's a curious find though. This was a really deep signal. It's actually a piece of melted lead. Oh, I guess it still is. You see, it isn't anymore, but yeah, so a chunk of melted lead here, which, as you know, is a good sign. I like to see melted lead. I'll try not to bore you with every I was gonna say I think I dinged it, but I didn't, because I actually did dig this one with my fingers when I got down close to it, with every piece of melted lead. But I just wanted you to see that, so that you know what kind of targets to expect when you're on an old site. Even if you're not finding the buttons in the brass right away, if you find melted lead like that, slow down. That's a real good indication that there could be something better just at your feet. All you have to do is listen. The plot thickens a little bit. I'm kind of making a circle out through the field. I'm not far from the big tree, but I saw a piece of pottery down here somewhere. I don't see it now, but I wanted to show you something else that I see or saw. I've already lost it. Jeez, it's gonna be bright today. I'm gonna have to go back and get my sunglasses. Anyway, there's a brick out here, a piece of brick that was somewhere in this area, because I set my machine down right there to show it to you. Oh, here it is, maybe. Yeah, so that's an old piece of brick right there. And brick doesn't go uphill, so if there's a home site, chances are it's up in here, because the brick will kind of work its way down through gravity and plowing over the years. Now, it is possible this could have got uphill through plowing, but unlikely. There's another piece of brick, another piece of pottery. So the concentration is absolutely getting better and thicker as we're going up this little rise right here. So I'm thinking we will scoot out this direction with the metal detector and see what's underfoot, or listen for what's underfoot. Not seeing a tremendous amount of stuff on the surface, but that doesn't always mean anything at all. So I mean, I like to see a tremendous amount of bricks and pottery and pipe stems and coins laying all over, but I suspect we're going to find some good stuff here in the next next hour or two. We'll just have to keep circling, follow the iron, listen for all those blips and stuff, have your discrimination low, look for the concentration, the heaviest iron you can possibly find out here, because that's probably right where the house stood. That's where most of the artifacts are going to be, including the little bag of gold coins that Grandpa stashed behind the chimney and was left there after he died. And when the house rotted away, there you go, little bag of gold coins. Well, not in the bag anymore, but you get the drift. You get my drift. So I just want to let's go digging. It's going to be a scorcher today. I mean, it's not even 9:30 yet, and it's already hot. I'm actually about 200 yards from that tree. I'm just doing a quick circle in this field here just to get an idea what's here, which is a nice thing you can do when you're by yourself. Because I know there's a hot spot by that tree, and if I was hunting with somebody, they'd be over there digging right now, so I'd have to be over there digging. But when you're by yourself, you don't have to do that. So you can come over here and look around a little bit, try to find the biggest, bestest hot spot. Found a little shard of it's a flake from an Indian North American Indian who was making a stone tool here. I'll show it to you up close. This is on the surface right here, and I can tell that is definitely a flake from where he was making a tool. You can see where it was hit here, here, and here. So we definitely need to be looking for tools in here, like arrowheads and axes, stone axes and beads and pendants and all kinds of cool stuff, because they were camped right here making stuff. So I've made several lazy loops around this end of the field, and although there's stuff scattered everywhere, like little bits of brick and stuff, I really didn't find anything good. A couple scraps of this and that. This is the concentration right here in this very corner next to the big tree. So I'm going to work this area for a little bit. I'll give it maybe an hour or two, unless we're really doing well. Then we're going to move off to other areas of the farm because we're going to run out of time on this trip because we only have like a week left. So I've been seeing vehicles going back to the neighbors, so we might pop down there afterwards after we finish this 300 acres and talk to them. Let me show you what I found so far. A whole lot of not too much. This is a hoe, a broken hoe. That's actually the handle part right there. And the blade would have come out, would have been a big thing like that. And it's learning a lot of shotgun shells out here, lots of little scraps of this stuff. There's aluminum mixed in too. So the only interesting things really so far are these three things, which I found pretty much right where we're standing. So we're going to hunt this corner. Oh, and this thing. Don't know what that is. That's kind of odd. Gave a really good signal, so it's brassy. Looks almost like a little bell, doesn't it? I wonder if that's a little bell. So we're going to leave everything right here. Hunt for a little bit, and hopefully we'll have some good video coming up. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I have searched this little strip right up through here and marked a bunch of signals, probably 10 or so. We're going to dig them together. This is the big tree behind me. Not a ton of signals in here, so I don't think we're in a house. I think the house is actually right there on the high ground. But again, it's right across the property line. So this is the only thing I kicked out of the dirt when I was cleaning the spot where I had the signals. But if you look up across here, you can see some sticks sticking up. There's you know, probably 8 or 10, I reckon. Those are the signals I got in this strip right here that I thought were worth digging, which includes one big piece of iron. Now, what we're going to do is we'll hunt without the headphones, and I'm using the AT Max today. And I'm going to bump the discrimination just up to like 3 or 4, just because that's the headphone thing that's blinking because it wants to connect, but we're not going to use them. All right, so what we're going to do, zero mode, is go over here and dig these things. I guess I ought to bring my shovel. I left it over here. I was marking all the holes. I just set it down. I'm going to let you listen to the signals as we go along, too. And if we hear any other squeakers, we'll go ahead and dig them. But you're pretty much hearing all the iron at the discrimination level I'm at. That's really small. I'm going to let that one go, because we have work to do and we have places to go. All right. Yeah, well, there's the first one. It's not going to stick out of the way. So what I'm going to do is reading, kind of jumping around, but that's to be expected. Shovel, I don't think it's going to be very deep. It doesn't sound deep to me. I suspect it's going to be in that clump. So let's go ahead and just break, well, let's check it just to make sure. Ha, no, I was wrong. I don't know if I dug it up or not. Check in. Nope, it's still there. This soil is really getting tremendous depth. Unfortunately, I'm digging quite a bit of junk over on this part of the property. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move you again. Pretty sure it's gonna be in this stuff. Piece of iron there. Iron there. All right, it's actually it's in the loose dirt, but it's in the side of the hole, so come back. That's probably in this loose dirt right here. Yeah, I can feel something right here. Something sharp. So it's either stick or stick. Not in there. It's a little scrapply thing of iron right there, so that's weird. Yeah, it's kind of probably just rust. All right, there it is right there, right in front of us. Can you see it? I might have to turn just a little bit. There it is. This little piece of brass. Thin brass. Yeah. It looked almost like maybe part of a clock gear or something. Got a weird curvature to it. Not sure what that is. Or how old even. Alright, to the next one. Get that all filled in nicely. And we can actually just kind of crawl over here to the next one. There we go. Alright, let's listen to this one. Kind of something small right in here. So what we'll do is dig outside of it just a little bit and drag it back toward us. Maybe one here too. That way we got it for sure. All right, I'm gonna check it with the loop. I'm gonna have to move you back again. Probably in the loose dirt, but I'm not 100%, so. Piece of iron there. Signal's not quite as good as it was before, so it's probably, I dug it up and it fell down into the edge of the hole. Can you see me now? So it's in this handful right here. Feels a little bit heavier. There it is. It is a little wee bitty piece of that other thing we found, which is probably like a clock or something. Although I don't know for sure. Okay, I'll fill that hole in a second. Let's go to the next one, which is right there. All right. Okay. Hands and knees. I guess I'll do it right. Again, that's a small little piece. One shovel out to pull in. The other one, I should have gotten it right there. Yep. All right, let's see what this is. I don't have high hopes for this one. It's not very big. Okay, it's in one of these two. And this one. Uh-oh. See, the shotgun shell or a button. Or a piece of dirt. All right. Well, it is a shotgun shell, actually. Kind of looked like a button, but was that even on camera? It's a shotgun shell. That's the primer coming up. So far, we're not doing so good. Okay, let's go to the next one, and I'll fill those in a minute. I'm pretty sure this was the iron. I have one kind of interesting giant piece of iron, so yeah, this is it. Let's see what this is. Should hear it when the shovel blade scrapes it, or not. I didn't think it was that deep. It is. All right, we'll go ahead, turn you a little bit. Eek. And pinpoint. Oh. And it's more in this area right here. There it is. The shovel blade scraped it. All right, this is what looks like a shoehorn, but I suspect is a leg of something that's pretty heavy, like maybe a stove or something. But this would have come up, and that's a leg that sat on the floor. All right. Okay, I'm gonna turn you off. I'm gonna dig the other signals because we're not digging anything good. And if it's something good, I'll show it to you. Well, I dug up those signals and several more, and every single one was trash. So we're going to look at what we found in this corner. I'm going to pack my bags, and we're going to keep moving. I think there's a home site here, but it's probably on the high ground across the property line. I know I probably showed you pretty much everything. There's a lot more of this aluminum than I like to dig and that kind of stuff. These are the only things that were interesting. You know, these couple pieces here. Again, I think it's a little bell, some shotgun shells, hoe, and that piece of rail actually just left up by the big tree there because I'm not going to carry that around. But all right, we're going to hit the road or the fields. So we're going to go up across that field and head to that, almost to that far woods over there, which is on the horizon. It's a long ways away. It's supposed to be something interesting over there. So we're in another section of the farm, and I'm starting to get some iron. In fact, I just dug this, which I suspect is part of a big pot or something, a big cauldron. And there's pottery in this part of the field, which I can't tell how old it is. I'm not seeing any bricks yet, but I thought I'd just share it with you. Share the excitement. You know, that's China. I don't know how old that is, this stuff. But yeah, that's not old at all. So, and there could have been a dump here. There could have been a home that was lived in, and you know, not that long ago. Some more pottery. I'm not seeing anything really old, but we're gonna go ahead and search this area anyway and see if we can find something old. It's mostly all like the same stuff though. It's like it's almost one cup that was smashed. A little bit of rock there. What's that? Did we already look at that? I don't know about that one. That might be older. I don't know. What do you think? Should we hunt it or just keep moving? That doesn't look old either, does it? Oh well. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Nice sandy area though. That blue glass is not old. So I suspect this could be, if not a dumping area, a more modern home. But we'll hunt it. I'm gonna grab my stuff, start looking. If I find anything old, I'll show it to you. If not, if I don't find anything old, I'm just gonna keep moving. I had to actually move my digging belt up here. This is a diving belt, and you can only get it so small because of the pockets. And apparently I'm losing weight on this trip, and I can't get it small enough now. It keeps falling down, so I have to take care of that. Get ribs tonight, I guess. All right. Hard-boiled eggs just aren't cutting it. So I have walked a lot of the fields and I'm not finding anything old. Found evidence of several other homes, but they're like, you know, maybe sharecropper era, or what's that big hole? That's a sinkhole. Sharecropper era, or maybe, you know, Depression era. I'm not really that interested in that kind of stuff. So this is the back part of the property. It drops off into a swamp, kind of a famous swamp from what I understand. A lot of weird things have happened back here. I don't know if we could get a boat on there, man, we'd go out in it. There's a strange hole here. Oh, look at that turkey feather. Feather there, look at that, it's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I saw some this morning when I woke up. They were out in front of the truck. Hopefully there's no turkey hunters out here. And hopefully that's not an old grave. I don't know why that's there, man. This is way back in the middle of nowhere. Of course, they do log these. They probably did log these woods at one time. Down on the water, see what it looks like. Haven't seen the swamp yet. Wow, cool. Wow, awesome, man. Ah, fence. That's like the first fence I've seen down here in a long time. Well, on this trip. Yeah, so let's just sit against this tree for a minute. Hopefully there's no scary ants there. And I'm just gonna rest for a minute and just listen, okay? Look out across the swamp. That's what we'll do. From what I understand, there's an old railroad grade that cuts down through the middle of the swamp on the side of the property. We're gonna head over that way, see what it looks like. Detecting in the fields. So it might be a while. It might be 5 pounds lighter by the time I get there. I hope not. So remember how I told you we need to keep our eyes open for arrowheads and stuff? Oh, by the way, that little flakes that I found and that you might find like that, sometimes, you know, they could be used as tools as well. They make great little like knives to cut things like cordage or even flesh off a bone, you know, for food. And maybe I'll demonstrate that. But anyway, walking across this field, haven't seen much, but there's something behind me that's pretty cool. There's something in front of me that's not so cool, but I'm gonna show that to you first because I just saw it when I turned the camera on. Obviously, this isn't so cool. That's a broken Coke bottle, but I was walking across here, set my machine down, so it's over here. There's a nice big old arrowhead, spear pointy thing in here. Somewhere. Yeah, that's where I walked over. I find my tracks. I hope we can find it again. Gosh. I didn't mark it. I'm not even sure where we came across now. But anyway, right in here, between here and the metal detector, is a nice spear point. A white one, white-ish. Hopefully we will see it again. Ah, there it is. Almost thought it wasn't a snake. What do you think? That's the same material that that little flake was that I found. All right, you ready? First people to touch this in possibly thousands of years. That's a nice one. I like it. Obviously, that would not be an arrowhead because it's way, way too big. So this was on probably the end of a spear. And the stem, what they call a stem right here, that's how they hafted it onto a piece of wood. You know, they would split the wood and put it here and wrap it with cordage or sinew or something like that, you know, from an animal. And that would have been a spear point for stabbing or cutting. You could use it as a knife too, but yeah, that's a nice one. I like it. Good stuff, man. You can have this one. Oh, look at a beaver. Just went behind that tree. You can see him swimming around. We're in the middle of this really cool swamp. And this is actually an old railroad grade. I don't know if this was a railroad bridge or not because it looks kind of shaky. But there's tracks behind me. I thought we'd just go ahead and explore this a little bit if you don't mind. We can actually bring a boat down here and put it in. We might do that, but it looks pretty weedy, so it might be hard to get around. And I don't know if we should really be walking across this without someone being here, but it's on a nice sturdy stringer right here. Just stay like right in this line, don't go over there. and we should be safe. I guess that beaver must have seen us, because he disappeared right after we saw him. There's something swimming around over there too. Now this is Sam Squanch territory if I've ever seen it. We might have to camp down here tonight. What do you think? This is scary. Ah. Jeez, you're a crack. Something's splashing up here. Wow, this is pretty cool down here. All right, I'm going to venture across, and well, I'll just keep the camera on for a little bit just in case we don't make it. Man, this doesn't look like it's very strong either, really. These boards. What do you think? Jeez. It shakes a little bit, doesn't it? I think what we'll do, okay, is oh my gosh, this is stupid, man. Stupid. Not even a very thick board, is it? I think we'll go over to this side and walk, stepping on the stringers, because at least we can hold on to these poles every once in a while. I'm not electrified. Oh, nice and sturdy. You can see all the stuff's been washed up against the board, so we can't go onto the bridge. Doesn't really look like we can get very far, so I probably won't put the boat in here. But we're going to walk across since we're here. I think it's got to be safe. I wouldn't bring a four-wheeler across here. There we go. What was that? Probably a water moccasin. We're on the other side, we can see it. Further down here. Look, what do you see? I don't see any down there. This is actually private property, I do believe, and we do have permission to be here, so we're good to go. Wow, that's beautiful, huh? Nice. I wonder what this little wagon is for where they bring the bodies down and dump them. Jeez. Watch your step. Better now. See all these stones, that's the ballast from the railroad. See there's some ties, railroad ties down there. Alright, come down here, shoot shotguns, obviously. Probably not going to go too much further. I wanted to see if we could get a boat in there, maybe float around a little bit, but with all that greenery out there behind me, I don't think we would get very far, so I'm probably going to pass on that. Nice. That looks spooky at night, I bet. We saw that beaver back there a few minutes ago, and these are little scent piles he's made along the bank. That's a fresh one. You can see it's still wet. I can't really smell it, but my allergies are so bad right now. There's another one and another one. So he comes up here a lot and swims up and puts his scent right around here. And if you look out across there, you can see some more of that. I imagine he's probably got his den or his lodge out in there somewhere. Can't see it from here though. If we waited here long enough, we would eventually see him come cruising by, but we don't have that much time. We've got things to find. Came over here to check out the railroad grade, which is actually up on that hill right there. And I was getting ready to cut down through there, and there's a big old water moccasin sitting down there. I don't think we're going to go down there. You see him? He's not a big old water moccasin, but I guarantee you one thing. We are not going to get near him. Well, I'll get a little bit closer. Here, buddy. You see him? If you look, you see he came up over that log just a few minutes ago. See, it's wet. He only made it as far as the water. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer for you. There was another one. Jeez. We gotta be a little careful in this area. He just fell off of that wood. I don't see anything in front of me, but I'm gonna get a little closer. We're fully extended on the tripod. Hopefully I won't fall into him. Nah. Doesn't want any part of us, does he? I think I'm gonna pass going over there. Since there was one in the water and one just, oh, there's another one right there. Look at that. Now, that might not be a moccasin. It looks a little different. He's got stripes on his back. There's two of them there, actually. The one we just saw was definitely a moccasin, though. Three snakes in that one spot. You think there might be some more up through here, so let's look for some. Keep a close eye in front of us. Don't want to get snake bit out here by ourselves. Oh, there's a big one right there. Look at that. What is that thing? Definitely not a cottonmouth, but it's a big old snake, man. I'm not really sure what that is, what kind of snake, but it's a big one. But I don't think it's a rattle moccasin. Doesn't really look like one, does it, with those stripes? I'm not going to go near it right where the water moccasin was. Don't see him anymore. That's a tree he went under. I'm looking to see if we can see where he went up over the top of any of that stuff, where he left like a water line. And he was headed down toward this cup though, so he might have gone that direction. Or might be down there waiting on us. It's hard to say how many are underfoot right here. I'm probably just about finished hunting this farm. I might hit that little home site up by the truck a little bit that we hit yesterday. But interesting story the property owner was telling me this morning. I think that's a little bit of a habit now. This morning when I was talking to her on the phone, is that she said that a guy lived here back in like turn of the century, 1900s. And supposedly he buried some sort of treasure around his house somewhere. Now, she didn't know what it was, but she knows that people have been looking for it ever since. Now, I was just walking around this little area here. It looks like an old house or something. Some old logs. It's all square, round nails, so it's not super old. But I see something quite interesting. That's why I'm telling you the story. You can see there's a lot, this is all rotted away. There's some brick pillars there. Some old logs. They look pretty old, but look at that. You know what that is? That right there is a sifter. Someone made a sifter and left it here. I'm wondering if this is part of the treasure story, because that's exactly what that is. It's been here a long time. Now, someone made a sifter, probably to sift something out here. You know, maybe around the house, maybe there's a bunch of little gold coins or something. I don't know. But that's kind of weird. It's like the only thing I can identify in here. I saw a mouse running across here with a baby in its mouth. And I tried to get a picture. I was hoping to come back and get another one, but she never came back, so we're leaving. All right, a few more minutes. I am not going to crawl up under there, but that's probably where the treasure is, actually. Because who else is going to crawl up underneath there? Old man probably crawled underneath there in the middle of the night and buried a big old sack full of gold coins, but they're going to stay there for a while longer. So this is the little hillside where I was digging yesterday, digging all those dandy buttons and stuff. My truck's kind of back in the bushes because that's where I camped last night, but I just discovered something. I was getting ready to come back to the truck, get something to drink, and consider my next move. And I looked in that little patch of stuff because I've been like detecting around here, and there's a cemetery in there I did not know about. Now, there's supposed to be one on this property where one of the owners or tenants or something back like 100 years ago murdered his entire family, wife and a bunch of kids with an axe, just like Lizzie Borden. But he went one step further and murdered the mule as well. They found him guilty of being insane, put him in an insane asylum where he eventually died. They brought him back, buried him with the kids. That cemetery's here somewhere close by. I can't find it, but I just found this one, which probably goes to this house. There's two graves that are marked with dates. One's 1816, and the other one's 1846. Now, I'm not going to show you the names because I know you guys can just look it up online and see exactly where I'm at. And for the privacy of the property owner, I don't want a bunch of people coming over here knocking on their door and begging to, go metal detecting out in their field because they know exactly where I'm at. So we'll go look at the graveyard, but not too close. So weird, because I actually slept in my truck. I wasn't but 5,400 feet away from it during the night, and I thought I heard scratching on my windows, but I didn't go out because I knew I was safe inside. So there's a stone here, and there's a stone there. I don't see any others, although there could be more. I can't really tell how big the yard is. There's a little tiny one right there, which has initials that are different than the two big ones. So at least 3 bodies here. I wish I could show them to you up close, but I have learned my lesson. That one is Joshua, died in 1858. And this is Nancy Ann, who died in 1816. So pretty cool. I mean, that dates it right to those relics that we found. In fact, I would say that this house was not here much later than 58, if that late at all. I mean, I don't think it was here during the Civil War because of the kind of relics and the age of the relics that we're finding. That's pretty cool. That's cool. I wish I could share it with you, but I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna go get something to drink, and we're gonna detect a little bit longer around here. I haven't really looked too much in the woods, although there are a lot of big targets in there, big pieces of iron and stuff, so we'll spend the rest of, maybe the rest of the afternoon there and decide what we're going to do after that. All right, so here's the deal. We got about 3 hours until it's dark. And I've been over most of the, well, pretty much all of the farm. This is the only place I found anything old, which is right where we first started. This graveyard is right there in front of my metal detector in the bushes. I just dug this, which is a cool piece of brass. I'm not even sure what it is, but it's an old one. Probably to the same time period, well, absolutely to the same time period of those graves, which again, they started around, 1816 to 1858. But it's right back in there in bushes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work the field some more. So I looked in the woods for a while, and it was just loaded with shotgun shells and 22 shells. So I got tired of that pretty quick, because you can't really, I couldn't dig anything like in the mid to upper 40s or anything in the mid to upper 60s. So that's too many targets we're leaving in the ground. So I came back out in the field. Think I got a button. Let's check it out together. I think I saw, there it is, right there. Is that a button? I hope. Yeah, it's a little flat button. Nothing fancy on the front, like a regiment or anything like that. But we know the family was here now in the early 1800s. So we could easily find like a War of 1812 era, or maybe even Revolutionary War era stuff. So here I am in the same spot that I spent like all day yesterday. I mean, my truck's right there. That's where I camped last night. And now you can see where I was digging all around here, and I'm still digging stuff. I dug another, could be a button, could be a coin, I don't know. I don't think it's a shotgun shell at least. I've dug several of those already out here. What do you think? Right here, it looks like a coin, but it actually looks kind of modern, doesn't it? Let's see. That looks like a modern nickel. And it is. Not even a buffalo nickel. Look how green that bad boy is, though. 1940, maybe 5, possibly. It's 49. Huh, oh well. Great signal, though. I mean, right in the middle of where I was digging last night, so you just never know, do you? Took another little flat button with a shank, which is nice. Nice and deep. I think there's a lot more stuff here yet. So maybe it's a good thing that we're just going to hunker down here and spend the rest of the evening digging this stuff, because maybe there's a good coin in here. Could be. I'm actually doing pretty good. I dug a couple pieces of buckshot, and I think that's going to be a little button there. I'm not showing a whole lot leading up to it because there's so many shotgun shells. And 22 bullets in here. Almost everything I'm digging is a shotgun shell 22 bullet. But every once in a while I get a keeper. Another little flatty. No designs on the front. We might get lucky yet. That's a pretty one right there. I like him. Or her. Or it. Oy. I can't wait till it gets dark so I can go to sleep. This is what's driving me crazy. You know, I got this hole here. It's a nice little squeaker. I figure it's probably 22 shell because that's, I'm finding so many of them. Out of the hole, I was looking around for it. Oh, there it is. Over there. Well, look. There's a 22 shell sitting here. right on the surface. That's not the signal I'm hearing that I dug. I guess these must be blanks, I suppose. I don't know. But anyway, there's so many, it's just like driving me crazy. I guess that's why I kind of gave up on this spot. Okay, so there's one over in the clump. Just fell out of the clump. That's probably, this is the target I was hearing when I first originally started digging. And it's a 22 bullet right there, 22 casing. That's probably what I heard. Problem is that that sounds a lot like those little buttons. So that's probably why those little buttons are still here, because I was kind of skipping over them last night. But we'll dig as many as we can. Because who knows, maybe one will turn into a little gold coin if we get really lucky. We're getting close to the rig, so that's where the luck is right there, ladies. What a neat little doodad here. This is a solid 60 on the machine. So, you know, that's where shotgun shell's been reading out here, pretty much right around 60, a little higher. But it was smaller. I could tell it was smaller, so I went ahead and dug it. I would think that's probably from this other home site. It's probably a strap went through there, although I don't know for sure. Nice little target in the hole here. I thought we'd dig together. I can actually see it. It's green. And I know it's not I'm pretty sure it's not a shotgun shell because it's not completely round. And it's in the sidewall there, so I'm digging with my fingers again. I know I shouldn't be doing that, but I thought we'd go ahead and dig. Oh, it's a coin. Oh yeah, that is. I hope my camera's working. I can tell right now that's a big old coin. Mainly because it's, see how rough it, well, I don't know if it's a coin. I'm just hoping it is, but it looks really rough. Unlike those dandy buttons we've been finding. It's really, really rough. It's really a dandy button. Oh no. Yeah, first thing I see, or actually felt, was there is a shank on the back, so that tells me it's a button. Flipping it over, it's rough because something's been chewing on it, I think. Probably like a pig or something. So I thought there might be designs and stuff. It looked like there might, you know, might have been Lady Liberty or Britannia or somebody on there, but I think that's just where somebody's been chewing on it, or maybe hammering it with something. I don't know. Looks almost melted, doesn't it? I know I didn't hit it because it was in the sidewall, buried. That must be from like an old plow or something. Well, that's kind of interesting, huh? I'm very, very curious about that one. That wind's really picking up. Might storm tonight. Got a good signal. Flipped it out, plug. Boom, it's right on top. Isn't that weird? You can actually see it was right here, but when the plug came up, it must have like flipped. And I assume that's a little button. Yeah, a little, well, it's not really a flatty, but it's almost flat. It's almost like a coin, didn't it? I don't know. There's some designs on that one. Oh, that's probably just the writing on the back, huh? I don't know about this one. Yeah, it's probably a, yeah, you can see a shank where the shank was right there in the middle. That's just the back mark, so. Nice little flatty, quite a ways from the house. But from where I was digging, most of my stuff was much closer to the truck, so this might be an untapped area. If you can even hear me over the wind. Woo! Feels good though. So I had a nice little signal here. It was in the 60s, so I figured it was a shotgun shell. So I didn't turn on my camera. I dug it and look, it's almost, well, that's my shovel over there, but it's almost gone. You just barely, move back you. Can't really even hear it. I mean, it's like gone. So what happened is, whatever it is, fell down into the hole in that loose dirt. I think what we'll do is go ahead and dig it together, even though it could be a shotgun shell, because it was a shotgun shell reading. All right, listen. Shh. I think so. Wow, that's weird. Had to fall down in that loose dirt. All right, let's just pull all the loose dirt out. It was really loud when I first had it. That's why I didn't. All right, yep. So it's up over here. Let's see what it is. That's not a shotgun shell because it's too small. Yeah, it's a shotgun. No, well, it's a piece of a shotgun shell. Probably hit it when I dug it and shattered it into little pieces. So it's probably more right in here. That's why it was harder to hear. Maybe. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it was just that little piece. Maybe the rest of it got hit by a plow. All right, I'll be quiet now. So this might be an interesting target. I wasn't sure at first, but it's actually turning into something better than a shotgun shell, at least higher on the meter. I do believe. It's a little bit toward me. I might have slightly missed it. So I thought we'd dig it together. I know this video is probably getting to be very long. Well, in fact, it's probably about 3 hours long if I include all the footage I've shot today. Well, still on the bottom. Wow. Shouldn't be digging with my fingers, but nice target like that. I haven't really dug too much really gross stuff out here. Like look at my fingernail. I don't know if that's iron or something good. What do you think? Can you see it? Yeah, it's almost like a ring or something. I'm gonna put you down in the hole, so I need you to hold your breath. All right, y'all focused? Whatever it is, it's right here. And I don't think that's a shark. Oh no, it's a shotgun shell. I guess. Is it? Yes, it is. Look at that. It's a big old high brass. That's what was giving that good signal. High brass means the brass is tall. It's high. Almost everything I've dug has been low brass, which means the brass is only, you know, about half that height or less. That's why I was giving it high squeak. There's a lot more brass in that one. Oy. So I got a kind of a really weird signal here. I went ahead and dug it and got this little square buckle, which will give you kind of a little weird signal. But there's iron in there and it's still going down. It's like it's almost, I think it's too deep. Deeper than the plow should have probably gone. So I think we should dig this out just a little bit. I'll put you down in there so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not really seeing anything amazing, but you see this iron right here. That's I think it's down deeper than the plows probably would have gone. So there might have been like part of a foundation here. Now this could have been a hole that they dug for support too, you know, on the for the house. They seem to put them on little stilts and stuff here. I don't know. Let me dig that out of there. I'm gonna have to move you. Ooh, say fork or something. Come check it out. Ooh, it's a fork or something. It's a big old spoon. That's pretty wild, isn't it? The iron one. Unfortunately, it's not pewter. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Big old spoon down quite deep. So I'm gonna dig around in there a little bit, see what else we can come up with. That's gonna be really, really hard to preserve though. Put it over here. Oh, let's put the pinpointer down there, see if there's anything else. No, I'm not really hearing anything, but I'm gonna dig around anyway, just to see. Well, about the only thing I found was the thirst. I go get something to drink. Sun's getting lower in the sky. All right, we can't have more than an hour and a half, 2 hours max right now. And then we can get some sleep. And guess what? We're going on the road tomorrow. So I got something I got to check out that's been eating at me for about 3 years now. And tomorrow, well, tomorrow we're going to get there. And the day after, we're going to find out whether it was worth worrying about for 3 years. Let's get a drink first. Should have a nice little humdinger in here. Move that back just a little bit. Right in the bottom of the hole. I don't know if I've dug it yet. I actually hit it. It's in the sidewall there. It's in my hand. Oh, it's not a shotgun. It's a shotgun shell. Oh no. Shoo. Another shotgun shell. Oh, I've dug 50 or 100 of these if I've dug one today. So tired of them, but man, you almost have to dig them. Oh, you don't have to, but I have been. That's probably why I'm so tired. All right, in the hole you go, Mr. Dirty. Yeah, there you go. Plug, and we'll stomp it down, and we're good to go. Sun's starting to get low on the horizon. We're gonna run out of time here. I figure we'll probably have another half a dozen or dozen targets to dig though. I got one here we'll dig together, if you want to. I actually have the hole dug. It's right in this corner right here. I don't know what it is, but it's right there. Haven't quite cut to it yet. I am really tired, man. I've been doing this all day. Chased by cottonmouths, walking around. Oh, I hope that's not it. Nope, that's not it. And well, yeah, it's been a long day. Well, I've been on the road now for a few days, so I'm getting tired. Tomorrow's gonna be a driving day though. I am so surprised I don't see it yet. See little pieces of brick though. Is that? That's brick. That's like the very same brick we saw the first day that led us to this site. The first thing. Okay. Man, it's still in there, man. Bigger than I thought it was. Hope it's not a giant chunk of iron. Starting to feel like it, isn't it? Ah, I feel it. It's right there. Okay, we're gonna have to move you around so you can see, because it's hard to see from that direction. Hopefully you can see from there. It's right here. See it? I'll pull this dirt back for you. Here we go. Still on the sidewall, so I don't know what it is yet. All right. Wow, it's a big brassy thing. It's either a coin or a button. What is it? It's very thin, isn't it? It's probably a button. Hey, I'd say that's a button from here. About half-cent size, but I figure it's a button without the shank on the back. Let's take it out and look at it. It's about the size of like a that's a British copper, you know. That's what that is. That's our coin. We finally found a coin, maybe. I think it's completely white. It's like maybe like a halfpenny, maybe. I think. What we'll do is scratch the back and see if there's a little nubbin for a shank. I don't think there, well, there might be. I don't know. We'll clean that up, take a closer look at it. It almost looks like there's a design on it, but it is very thin. Jury's out on that. We'll clean it up here in about 10 minutes, 10 to 15, and we'll figure it out. All right, so here's the deal. It's the end of the day, if I can still talk. It was a long day. It's been a long couple days. I'm going to show you what we found today, which is okay. I mean, we didn't set the world on fire, but it's okay. I'm going to tell you an embarrassing story about the Chig, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do next, okay? I was planning to hang around again tomorrow. I got permission on a neighboring farm, but there's something we have to do that, well, we just have to do it. So before the sun goes completely down and the coyotes come out and the thing come crawling out of the graveyard right over there, let me show you what we found today. All right, so I had to get a little flashlight. Sorry about that, but you've seen most of this stuff. Couple things. One, the thing in the middle right there is actually a coin. I think it's probably a like a King George something something. I can see the bust on it for sure on the back. I can see Britannia as well on the back, I guess I should have said. Got some little flat buttons, a nice big spear point or some type of blade. You've seen everything else in there. I do want to tell you about one. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this thing. This thing right here. Sorry about that. I finally figured out what it is. And what it is a piece to or half of a Jew's harp. Now, that's what they call it. And hopefully that's not politically incorrect. It was called a Jew's harp. They also called it, well, a mouth organ. But that might be politically incorrect too. So a lot of people are now calling them jaw harp. And what that is, and they might have called them jaw harps back then as well too. But in the reading, when you read about it, it's a Jew's harp. And that's the little thing. What you did, you put it in you held it by the corner of your mouth, and you took your finger, and you can make like little musical songs on it. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And that's really about it. You know, a bunch of little flat buttons and stuff like that. It was a fun hunt. This is some of the junk. A lot of those 22 shells. Lots of those pieces of buckshot, shotgun shells. I've already been emptying stuff throughout the day into the bucket o' junk. Plus, we saw a bunch of cool things today, you have to admit. I mean, going down to the swamp was cool and seeing all the snakes on that wall and the water moccasin down there and the cottonmouth. I thought that was pretty neat. We found probably 4 or 5 homes on the property, but they were all later homes. I think like Depression era, you know, the sharecropper era, maybe early 1900s. But this was definitely the original, I think, the original home for the property. Definitely the oldest one we found. It dates to those graves, 1816 to 1858. The artifacts are a perfect match for those dates. I suspect when the old man died in 1858, the house went kaput. So That's my theory. Okay, now an embarrassing story about the Chig. This morning I got up bright and early and got some coffee going, you know, and I was walking around just out in the field over there, just kind of looking around, just taking in the scenery. And I looked down, I saw something interesting on the ground in the area that I was digging, okay, yesterday. Oh, I guess I'll turn my flashlight off. So I see this interesting thing. So I reach down and I pick it up. And it's kind of heavy. It's, you know, I can tell it's lead, you know. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. How did I miss this thing? And so I'm like turning it over. This is it, right? So I'm turning over and I'm looking at it and I'm looking, saying, oh my God, it's an eagle breastplate. You know, it's a crossbelt plate from the Civil War. It's got, you know, an eagle on it. And I could see it clearly. I'm like, how did I miss this? And then it dawned on me, this is the one I found like 3 weeks ago over in West Virginia. Somehow, and I haven't seen it since, okay? Somehow, it fell off my truck when it was out there parked along the edge of the field. It must have been like on the bumper or something. I had no idea how it fell out, where it came from. But yeah, so that's my stupid story for the chick. Like, wow, I can see the eagle, I can see the claws and stuff, you know, and the arrows, which is exactly what I said 3 weeks ago. But anyway, I have it back now. Okay, next, like I said, we have permission for the neighboring property, but I think we're going to come back for that because I have I have a mission, okay? Someone told me years ago, like 3 years ago, one of my fans said, hey, Chig, I found something in the river years ago and I couldn't get it out, and I've tried to get it out since then and I gave up. I'm old now, I'm crippled, there's no way I'm ever going to get it. This is where it is. So he gave me all that information. Now, if it's a true story, I mean, it's a pretty good story. I mean, I was like kind of itching to go, but there wasn't quite enough information. You know, it was like something was missing from that story. So 3 years go by. And I said, you know, I'm going to get a hold of this guy again and just run through it again, see if there's, you know, get that one piece of information I need to make me believe the story. And so we started talking again recently, online, not, you know, just emailing. And he told basically the same story, but he added a couple little details he didn't add before, which made it believable to me. And I am traveling many, many, many days to go check this out. And with the information he gave me, it's not like an X on a map, it's right here, but because it's in a wild, like remote area, but it's enough information that I will know in one day whether it's true or not. Without a doubt, no doubt, within 1 day of searching, it'll either be true and I'll be like, whoo, this is great, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever found, or it'll be, I can't believe I drove 3 days for a wild goose chase. But we're going to know the day after tomorrow. I got like a 10-hour drive tomorrow, maybe 11, 12 the way I drive, to get to this place from here. So all day tomorrow I'm going to drive. The following day, Monday I guess it is, we're going to go look for it. And by the end of the day Monday, we're either going to have this tremendously cool treasure, for me anyways, tremendously cool, or we're going to be very disappointed, but I will never have to worry about that story again. I've been fussing that story in my head for 3 years. Never again. Unless it's true, and then, well, we have a lot of work to do, so we'll see you in a couple of days. Drive safe.
My lady, my big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your